Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague live here from the DreamHack Strategy Studios in Stockholm. First game in the bag, or at least in the bag of Imperial, because they won game number 1 against VP, and it seemed that they had superior team fight. They just did everything right.
Yep, I think they did something like really clever. Like they were very keen on knowing, you know, if the game progresses to a point where they have their BKBs online, they have all this magic immunity, they're actually going to be able to take the fights.
Yeah.
So if we just crush them super hard in the laning phase and keep running at them and don't let them, play their pace of the game that they want to do, that's how we're going to just beat them, because even if they get their BKBs, we're super farmed as well. So that's pretty much exactly what we saw happening, using, I think, all 3 smokes before the 15-minute mark, just constantly bringing the aggression onto them. And yeah, it was like, what, 20-7 score. VP does a nice play where they go into the Roche pit, at least. They get that, but they end up getting wiped again. They had another engagement later on where it looked like VP was going to actually take the fight, but just a couple mistakes, and then
when they smoked behind them and had the Slaughter initiate, that was one of the, I wouldn't say a turning point, but it kept them in the game and allowed the PA to get his BKB, or her BKB, which was very important. But I also feel like the Shadow Fiend shouldn't have gone for the Shadow Blade, but rather, you don't want to. But in this particular case, when you look at the Imperial lineup, you need to rush that Black King bar.
Yeah.
I was even surprised he managed to get an ulti off without the Black King bar. And the same way, well, PA needed to go to the Desolator. That's just...
You have to go.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, and that's fine. But once he got it, you start seeing maybe some hope of life. But as Giannis said, way too much farm on Imperial to deal with. Once the Luna could live through whatever when she had her BKB, she would just stand there and dish out damage and slowly kill everything else. And even Baby Knight survived because of that Force Staff and everything. So
now, the Roche fight that you mentioned, Giannis, we have a clip of that actually for the drawing board. So let's take a look, and let's just take a little bit of a closer look to see how that actually went down. Yeah, because we can't actually... Can we draw? No. We can't actually see anything, so no drawing, but we will have the highlight clip, because that is... that is pretty cool. And this is actually the fight mid, so it's not the Roshan fight. It's the fight mid. This is a fight where the PA has an Aegis. So in theory, VP should win this fight.
Yeah, they get a good wraparound, but it's still, you look at the net worth, and it's, the Bat Rider has much more than the Slardar does, and they just, the heroes that they have are just way stronger at team fighting still, because they need the BKBs. There's just so much magic potential on the side of Imperial. They lose the OD, they lose the Luna really fast, but Stolen Requiem by Ryze completely wipes out no one from like 3/4 HP. And yeah, the fight is pretty much the best one that we see coming out from VP that is possible with what they have, because they need their BKBs, as we just constantly mentioned. It's super hard. And I actually have to agree with Jacob, because in that position, the Shadow Fiend is... When he goes for that Shadow Blade, he's thinking about himself, I feel, instead of thinking about his team and the whole like general idea, because your PA takes a long time to ramp up. If you go for that Lothar's, it delays everything. Or for the Shadow Blade, it delays everything kind of in a way. So I have to agree with you as well.
So
unsurprisingly.
We still have the MVP vote running as well. Whoa! Hello, Solo is
well, Twitch is back on the meme train.
Yeah, they're back.
They had like a really bad day. Then yesterday they were surprisingly smart about everything. And now, as soon as there is some polarizing character in the vote, they're back to being...
Don't worry, guys. When he says they, he means you, being Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get that out of the way there.
You being you.
Yeah. So for you guys, who was the MVP out of these 5? So you got Lil, you got Ryze, No One, Baby Knight, and Solo.
I'd have to say Baby Knight. I think Ryze had really good rotations and stuff, but overall, I mean, Baby Knight he was the OD. He dealt the most damage in the team fights. It kind of just came with his hero. He had kind of an easy job. Get a couple instacks and then just drop the hammer. And PA has like terrible int gain as well. So if he gets hit by it, he's pretty much one-shotted in a way. So I'd have to give it to Baby Knight.
But Ryze and Ace controlled the game really well as well. But Ace wasn't an option here, and I just think Baby Knight did just a wee bit more than Ryze did.
Yep.
Okay, well, we are soon going into the draft of game number 2 here. Obviously, Jacob, you were the only one with your correct prediction.
Well, we'll see. I actually didn't. I didn't anticipate that they might potentially 2-0 VP.
Yeah.
I thought that they might pull off a draw in this one, and then in the next one either a draw or win against Liquid. But I'll be pleasantly surprised if they can manage to beat VP. I think an important thing to note here is that VP wants to play aggressive throughout all stages of the game, and when they have a lineup like this, they just can't. And that showed. You know, Slardar feeds on the off lane. They try to make stuff happen even with the help of PA before she has any notable items, but they can't fight into this extremely spell-oriented lineup from and teamfight-oriented from.
So they need to switch up their draft.
They need
Is it not that simple?
All playstyle. They need to respect.
Makes it easier if they switch. If they go back to their